This next escape is from the mount position. I like to get a very high mount on my opponents and really use my knees to squeeze in and isolate their shoulders. But if you're one of those guys that has incredible flexibility, like Aaron, you're going to have this option as well. It's very, very frustrating when you finally get mount on a guy that's, more of a higher level player. You get mount on him, you get high mount, and you really think you're finally getting somewhere, and then this happens.
So basically you end up in the position that you really don't want to be, which is high mount. Which means that my opponent here has gotten really high up on my elbows, has control over my arms, lots of chest pressure here, just not a good place. Not a good place for my hands, not a good place for control, not a good place for anything. But this isn't the final step. You still have one more option from here that I like to use a lot. It's actually a pretty high percentage for me, and not saying this is end all be all, but it definitely helps a lot. Alright, what I like to do is, being a flexible person, I like to keep my hands in and controlled. I like to try to brace my own hands without giving hooks. So what I do is I actually put my hands inside of my own hooks just like this to just try to fight off any sort of hooks. Alright? This way you kind of keep a solid base and nobody can get their hands inside of there. Alright? Now, I'm also going to need a little bit of space, so you are still going to have to kind of push out a little bit, which what I do is I use my hands right here and I just push down and get a little bit of space. Okay? Now, to be able to make this work completely, I am going to have to use my hands. Alright? But first I'm going to buck. Alright? Once I bump, alright, I'm going to bring my feet in close, I'm going to bump up, boom, and get the hands to the mat. Now, once I get to the hands to the mat, you kind of have to work quick here, because anytime you extend your arms out towards someone, you are looking at a possible arm bar, key lock, anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to do it all in one motion. Alright, as I extend my hands, I'm looking to get my hands inside of his armpits to try to stay safe. Alright, I'm going to try to hug them together, just like if I was on top and I was in guard. This would be the same way that I would be, hands in close, arms under the armpit. Now once I've bumped and I've gotten to this position, I'm going to continue to push this way. Never am I going to let him gain any ground backwards. As soon as I bump, I immediately have to get my hands up in there and push him forward. Then I'm going to roll my back and get my legs inside of his armpits. Okay? From here you have to work quick, and you have to keep them inside of the armpits. If you just leave your leg like this, then you're leaving your leg to get trapped. Definitely not something that you want to have happen. Alright, so this is a quick motion. Right? From here, I've got a bump, boom, hands under, feet in, and then push away. Alright? Now as I push away, basically you're dragging your head out. As you drag your head out, you'll find that one arm will come out to help reach, and the other arm will come out under another leg. And what you can do is basically capture this leg on your way up. You can base on one leg, capture the other leg, and hold that leg for a submission. Either that or you can always push it out of the way, flop down, you can take the back, or at least it's a good scramble to get you out of the mount position, especially the high mount position. Alright, so once again, we're here, right, and he's going to get a pretty high mount on me. Boom. Not a good situation. Alright, I kept my arms and I block. Alright, I block my hooks and I bring my arms down towards his legs. Alright, this doesn't give him any area to be inserting his hands to try to hook my hands for the armbar. Alright, he's going to try to push, he's going to try to separate this arm, separate the elbow, open up the elbow. I'm not going to let it happen. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump and get my hands inside of his armpits as soon as possible. Bump, armpits. Alright, as soon as I do that, I'm following up with my legs and doing a pushing motion. Alright, as I come out, one hand bases, and the other hand hooks under one of the other legs, under the ankle, right here. I slide up, I position my body towards one side, towards the side of the ankle that I have, and I'm inserting my shin over the top of his back leg here. Alright, once I have this leg locked up here, I can insert it under and go for just a straight ankle lock and turn up. Alright, so again, he goes to a high mount. I protect my arms, make sure that there's no deep hooks that he can get. I bring my arms in tight towards his body. I mean, granted, we're in a bad situation here, so we have to do something about it. Now, obviously, your best instinct would be to strip from here and try to get a little bit of space, which is good, which is fantastic and exactly what you want to do. But some people, you can't do that. Every little inch you push is one more inch they come back up. So sometimes it's not possible. And a lot of times you can bump and roll and sometimes you can't. So this is just another option if you can't and you have some flexibility in you. So here, I'm going to bring my legs close to my butt. I'm going to bump, boom, hands on the armpits, bring them immediately right in towards the side. We don't want to leave them out here, right in towards the side. I immediately follow up with my legs into the armpits, and I push. I use one hand to help me up. Slide my leg over, right here. Right here is where I slide my leg. As soon as I come up from this position here, I post, I slide my leg up, I cover over this leg, I hook deep under this ankle, and grab right here, and lift for the submission.
That's a way for you to get out of the high mount. If you find yourself underneath your opponent's mount, he starts to push his hips up. Like I said, there's not a feeling in the world quite like getting in mount, establishing a good high mount, and then all of a sudden there's these feet under your armpits and somebody's out the back door. That's a good option for you if you have the flexibility for it.